Hi everyone, my name is Sumaya Ahmed and I am the Virtual Content Specialist for 7th grade science. In this video, I will review how to use Kahoot and Google Meet's poll feature as formative assessment tool. So let's start with Kahoot. I will review the platform first, then go over the highlights that I have listed here. So Kahoot is a game-based learning tool that makes it easy to create, share, and play learning games or trivia quizzes. You can create a free educator's account, which gives you access to thousands of pre-made quizzes from their Kahoot library, and you can create your own Kahoot as well. So first, you can create your account and log in, and this is what you see. So you have your Kahoots on the side. You can create a collection where you organize your Kahoots. You can use it for later. Some news and blogs, and top pick Kahoots that have had a lot of plays, and so on. Okay, so you can use this navigation bar on top. And you can discover, go to your library, see your reports, and see your groups. So first I'll show you how to find a Kahoot and modify it, and then I'll show you how to make your own. So if you want to just discover what's out there, you can use this Discover tab. And as you can see, there's so many different types of Kahoot. They have their partners as well, such as Marvel, Disney, Kaplan. They have a lot of different organizations that they're affiliated with, which have created Kahoots. Or you can use the filter over here. So if you click Science, and if you want to look specifically at Biology Kahoots, these are all the science and biology Kahoots. So as you can see, there are 400,000 results. And, you have some by, Scholastic, which is specific organizations, and you have some by teachers as well. And it tells you how many times this game was played. So this one had 580,000 players. So this is a good way to choose a Kahoot if you're just browsing for general Kahoots, not for a specific subject or not for a specific topic within a topic. But the best thing that you can do is search for a specific topic. So you can click on Discover, and then where it says this search bar, find me a Kahoot About, you can type in the type of Kahoot you want, so something on climate change. And these are all the results that you have. So again, there are a lot of Kahoots. There are 200,000 results. Some of them, again, are made by specific company or organizations, such as this one by Columbia University. A lot of these are made by Columbia University. This one is made by American Museum of Natural History, National Geographic. So these you will not be able to edit because they are made by a specific organization, but you will be able to edit other ones that are made by teachers or educators. So if you click on one, as you can see, you can review all the questions here and all the answer options and which one is right and which ones are wrong. There's a check mark if that's for the one that the right answer is. You can see how many times it was played. It had 16 plays with 761 players. It's a public Kahoot made by this user. So what you can do is you can share it, you can add it to your favorites, you can add it to your collections, duplicate, preview, print it even. But if you want to modify it, which I highly recommend doing, you can click edit. So if you click edit, you need to duplicate it first. And, after you duplicate it, all the questions come up. So let's say you don't want this question, you can just delete it. Let's say for this true or false question, you want to change something. You can change anything you want to for this question. So here you can change the question type. You can do a quiz or a true or false. This is just for the free membership, and you can add all these other options if you have a premium membership. You can change the time limit. So depending on the question, Ideally, 10 to 20 seconds is great. If you want to give more time, that's also great. However, 5 seconds is not enough because students will have to read the question and then read the answer options. So for middle schoolers, 5 seconds is usually not enough time for a question. So I highly recommend it to make it at least 10 to 20 seconds. The points, you can have it standard. The image or reveal, you can have, usually for the free account, the image comes up right away. You can change the image if you need to as well. So as you can see, you can remove it and you can add media. So you can add a YouTube link for a video. You can add upload an image from your computer, or you can see their image library where they have a lot of options for images. And if you click done, and it gets saved to your library. So to create a new Kahoot from scratch, you just go up here where it says create, and you can create a new Kahoot. So they have some templates available that you could choose from. However, you can create a new one. You can name it here. You can add your questions, add your media, add your answer options. And again, you can add the time limit, similar to how we duplicated and edited the other one. This is the same. One thing that's really nice is you can look at the question bank. So let's say you are having trouble thinking of questions. You can click on the question bank and click on some keywords or a topic related to what you are looking for, and they come up with pre-made questions, and you can just add them. So climate change is, and then it tells you the answer options and everything, and you can just add that to your Kahoot. So this question bank is a great idea if you're struggling with coming up with questions. So to view the results, you can click on the Kahoot. You can click on reports. You can click on, the specific Kahoot that you played, and here it tells you, the percentage that students got correct. It shows you the players. There were 23 players, 17 questions, took 15 minutes. This is great because it tells you the difficult questions here. So these are the questions that only 17% of students got correct. So most of the students got this question wrong. Therefore, this would be a question that you may want to revisit. So if you go to players, it tells you the names of all the students who participated and their grades and which questions they got right and wrong. If you go to questions, this is very helpful. It tells you the questions and the percent correct versus incorrect. And if you got, so after every Kahoot, they have a feedback section, and that's the feedback section, but usually students don't fill out the feedback. And again, if you look at the difficult questions, it summarizes all the questions that were difficult for the students while they were taking the Kahoot. Okay, so these are the questions that students struggled with the most based on the percentage of incorrect answers. So this is great because you know exactly which questions students had difficulties with, and you can address it with them. So I'll just show you how the Kahoot works. So if you click on play, so you create your Kahoot. Again, you can modify a Kahoot that's there, or you can create your own from scratch. And if you click play, there are two options. You can do teach, which is the general option for virtual class, and it can also be used for virtual classrooms or in-person classrooms, or you can assign one for self-paced. But usually, from my experience, the teach one is more fun because students like to compete and see each other competing. So you click teach. And it says the Kahoot is now loading. So you can click on the classic version, which is when each student has one device, Or if students are sharing a device, you can click on team mode. These are the options. So you can have a nickname generator, you can show question and answers on player devices. So this is helpful if everyone has their own device and they would like to see the questions and the answers. If not, then the question and answers will only appear on your screen and the students will only have the answer options. You can change up the music. So again, this is a little more gamified. So you can see all these different types of music options. That students can use. So these are really fun. You can randomize the order of the questions, randomize the order of the answers. You don't need to click two-step join because it asks to add an additional code for the students. It's not necessary. You can either automatically move through questions or you could click on next question, and you can have students rejoin after every game, which usually I keep off. Okay, so after you click classic, it loads a game pin, and this stays up until all your students enter in the room. So I'm just going to, again, students can use any device to work on it. A lot of students like using their cell phones. Again, this depends on your school cell phone policy. So if you have students go to the Kahoot app or go to Kahoot.it, they can just enter the game pin, and every single assessment that you have has their own game pin. So here the game pin is 6325124. And I just entered it on my phone and my name comes up here. So I will click start. And the question comes up first, and then the answer options come up. So I'm just going to click a random answer, and again, I answered it on my phone. And then if you click next, this usually is a podium, so it starts off with the highest score on top, and then it goes down with the lowest scores. And that is Kahoot. So now let's review another very easy formative assessment tool on Google Classroom. So for those of you who are using Google Classroom and Google Meets, this would be helpful. I'm sure you are aware of the poll feature, and I have used the poll feature several times, so this is great for teachers who use Google Meets for their remote instruction, and if you want to ask questions in your Google Meets. So they have the feature here for polls to get a quick pulse of the audience. You can add in the question, you can ask a question, add your answer options. You can save the question, so if you log into the meeting early, you can save the questions and launch them as you go through your live lesson. Or you can launch them right away and students will see it as soon as they enter the classroom. And there is an option where where you can have students view the responses. So once you do that, and once you close the polls, so this is just a random question that I did. As you know, if you do use Google Meets, every meeting that you have on Google Meets, you get a session report with the attendance and when students logged in and when they logged off. And you also get a report of the poll questions and the results. So here you have the names. Here you have, this is a random poll question that I did. Do you like pineapple on pizza? And all the responses of the students. So this is just one example. As you can see, the results, they're not summarized in any way. It's just the student and the response that they did. So now I will just review just some highlights of both of these formative assessment tools. So Kahoot is more game-like. It's competition-based. It has a lot of vibrant colors, music. You can add a lot of images, and it's a great way to have students engage in a quiz. It has a wide variety of pre-made quizzes, as you saw. I just put in climate change, and there were 200,000 pre-made Kahoots. So I recommend just seeing one and modifying it. However, if you do want to make your one from scratch and make it truly unique, you can do so as well. You can add images and visual supports to the Kahoot, which is great. You were able to add images, videos, and documents from your computer. You can download student reports. It also shows you the questions that students had more difficulty doing, so that's great to inform instruction, and it may be you may want to revisit those questions that students struggled with. One thing to be mindful of while using Kahoot is that students who need more time reading and processing information, again, it is competition based. As based on my experience, students get really excited. Usually, I have prizes for the first, second, and third place winners. So that motivates the students. They get really excited, and it's something super easy. They could do it on their phone. They could do it on the computer. All they need to do is enter in the code. They don't need to log in or type in any answer, usually multiple choice questions. And, they get excited and they compete. So, this may be a way to increase motivation and engagement. However, you should be mindful of those students who need more time processing information, reading sentences, relating it to the image they see on the screen. So it may just be something that you use to get students engaged, or a quick on-the-fly assessment, and it may not be something that you want to enter grades for students because of the time limit. Now, you are able to add a higher time limit. So, for example, when I showed you how to modify the Kahoot, you were able to add about up to 2 minutes. However, you do not also want other students to just answer it and just sit there for, 1 minute and 50 seconds, just so you can get all the responses. So just something to be mindful of. Now, the poll feature on Google Meets is great because you have quick, easy, on-the-spot assessments for remote instruction. You cannot pre-enter the questions for the poll. You do have to join the meeting first and then enter each poll question. And they have to be entered during the meeting. And the data is collected for the poll questions, so you can have it as a participation grade to see if students completed it. And you can tabulate yourself if students got the correct answer or not, because again, it is a poll question. It's not a multiple choice question, so there is no correct answer, but you can determine if they got the correct answer as you're going through their data. So there is no summary of the data, but the data is collected. And it is a quick way to do on-the-fly assessments. So these were the two assessment tools, Kahoot and the polls feature on Google Classroom, and I hope you enjoy using them. Thank you for watching.